What's up, blended culture family? Today we're making no-knead rustic bread. Seriously, the easiest bread recipe you'll try. There's only 4 ingredients. To start this off, we've warmed our water. We're looking for a water temperature of anywhere between 110 and 120. Here we have 3 3/4 cup of flour. You can use unbleached all-purpose or bread flour. 1 package or 2 1/4 teaspoons of active dry yeast. Add that to our flour, and 1 1/2 teaspoons of kosher salt. This recipe only calls for 4 ingredients: water, flour, yeast, and salt. So you've added together the flour, yeast, and salt. Here we've blended it together. And now we're going to take our 1 1/2 cups of warm water and add it to the flour, yeast, and salt. Our next step is to start to stir this mixture together. When making this bread, I'll be honest, I definitely missed my mixing stand with the bread paddle arm, but it said to make this recipe and stir by hand, so that's what I did. Honestly, this mixture becomes so hard that I had to try different techniques to mix the flour, water, yeast, and salt together. Even at times it became so much I had to take a break. To give it my all at the end, sleeves up, head down, and I worked this mixture until there were no pockets of dry flour left, although the mixture is still quite lumpy. The consistency that you're going for here is actually quite sticky, so it should come together, but again, it is definitely going to be sticky. Take a second to wash our hands. Come back, and we're just going to cover the dough mixture tightly with saran wrap or plastic wrap I'm using here. Once it's covered, I'm just going to take it and cover it again with a towel. Try to keep some of that heat in, and I'm going to let it sit in a warm spot in the kitchen until it doubles in size. This is about 45 minutes if you use quick rise yeast, or 75 minutes if you're using active dry yeast. While our dough is doubling, I'm going to lightly oil our cast iron skillet just so that it's ready for our final step. It's been about an hour. Our dough has doubled in size. So we're going to remove our plastic wrap. And as this mixture is quite sticky, you have 2 options here when you start working with your dough. You can lightly flour your hands, or in my case, I'm just going to add a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. Rub this into my hands. And gently start to pull the dough away from the sides of the bowl. This will take a few minutes. You're going to take your time. Be nice and gentle because we don't want to lose any of the air in our dough. Once you've pulled the dough away from the sides, you're going to pick it up into your hands and gently form it into a smooth ball. Once the ball is formed, you're going to transfer the dough onto a piece of parchment paper if you're going to be baking it in a Dutch oven, or alternatively, you can place it right into the greased cast iron skillet or a parchment lined baking sheet. Cover again and let rise for an hour. So here you'll see the dough doubled nicely again. lightly coat the top of it with some extra virgin olive oil. And we're going to hit the top of this with a little bit of kosher salt. Gently score the top of the dough. Since we're baking this bread in a cast iron skillet, I've preheated my oven to 375. After about 15 minutes, our bread's a deep golden brown. Generally, you would transfer the loaf onto a cooling rack and let it cool for at least an hour before slicing, but I couldn't wait to show you the finished product. And let's be honest, who can resist the urge to try hot, fresh baked bread with a little butter? If you've got any bread left over, seal it tight. It should last for 4 or 5 days at room temperature. I also love to set up a little bit of olive oil and balsamic vinegar to dip my bread into. I hope you all enjoyed watching.